Welcome to this week's edition of the Progress Report. In this episode, we speak with Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashney Singh, on a recent agreement signed to open up CARICOM to several financial avenues.
I think it's clear for all to see that there's been a dramatic improvement in the investment and business climate in Guyana. As a matter of fact, improving the business climate has been a priority of President Ali's government from the very first day that he assumed office. And this is perhaps best indicated by the fact that on the first day of full day of work as president, President Ali met with the private sector to discuss with them some of the key issues of concern to them, with a view to ensuring that pre-existing impediments to investment and business were removed and addressed as swiftly as possible. And so since we have assumed office up to today, we have been working diligently to constantly improve the investment climate and constantly make Guyana once again an attractive place to do business after a very difficult 5-year period for the private sector, both domestic and internationally. That work has proceeded along multiple parallel tracks. So in the first instance, putting in place the legislative prerequisites to an attractive investment climate. And I could list a number of examples, I'll just mention a few. One, the new telecoms law that was brought into operation by the President. That laid the foundation for a newly liberalized telecommunications sector, which in turn led to competition, which in turn led to increased private investment in telecommunications infrastructure, such as the new fiber optic cables that are being laid. That in turn led to reduced bandwidth, and that in turn led to increased private investment in ICT type industries like the BPO sector. As you know, the BPO sector has created, since we assumed office, more than 1,000 new jobs. The sector now employs about 4,200 people, which represents an increase of more than 1,000 jobs. There are new entrants into the market, etc. But there are other examples of legislative interventions that we've introduced and brought into operation.
Minister, over the past few weeks, we've seen a number of delegations come to Guyana to meet with the President, meet with Go Invest, to find out the investment opportunities that are here in Guyana. Most recently, Prime Minister Motley and the President signed an agreement between CARICOM and AfriExim Bank. Tell us a little bit about what that agreement really entails and what it means for Guyana by extension.
Sure. So the agreement that you would have seen us signing, I think recently, is that agreement. It's an agreement between CARICOM member states, several CARICOM member states, and the Africa Export-Import Bank. And is an agreement that aims to promote closer economic relations between the Caribbean and Africa. On the basis of this agreement signed, Guyana and the other countries who would have signed before now have access to the bank's various products and services. And the bank offers a number of products and services, including direct lending, trade financing, guarantees, advisory services, etc. All designed to promote greater investment and trade. And so now, as a signatory to this agreement, this CARICOM agreement with the this agreement between CARICOM member states and the Africa Export-Import Bank, Guyana now has an opportunity to access the bank's various products. And so we see this really as an opportunity to promote much deeper economic relations, manifested in both higher flows of investment in both directions, but also higher trade flows as well in both directions. And so we were extremely pleased to be able to join the other CARICOM countries in signing the agreement recently. And we expect that this will lead to us, in the first instance, accessing the products and services that the bank has to offer, with the ultimate objective of promoting more economic activity. I think more than anything else, whenever I speak to the international investor community and indeed the domestic investment community, more than anything else, I convey as best as I possibly can how important it is to move now, because now is the moment when the opportunities are emerging. Now is the moment when the transition in Guyana is taking off, the transformation is taking off, and the sooner one enters the Guyanese economic space, the Guyanese market, the sooner one establishes one's operations, the better. And I don't only say so from the standpoint of capitalizing on opportunities. I say so also from the standpoint of meeting a genuine need in Guyana, because we want as many companies as possible to be established to meet the need of the emerging economy in our country. What do I mean by this? So if you think of any category of economic activity, there's an unprecedented demand now for goods and services in every sector of activity. And so we're encouraging as many potential suppliers, either foreign investors coming to Guyana or domestic investors seeking to set up operation or expand their operations in Guyana, to ramp up, either to establish a presence or to ramp up their presence. In addition to conveying the sense of urgency to potential investors, I would also convey the value to be had from partnership with Guyanese and ensuring optimal involvement by Guyanese companies and Guyanese nationals, Guyanese partners in general.